A profound moment occurs in the aging journey when you look in the mirror and realize the changes in your skin are not merely superficial. They are, in fact, deep biological signals reflecting significant shifts happening within the dermal layer, where the very architecture of collagen fibers organizes, repairs, and renews itself. For many senior women, the instinctive response is to reach for something natural and trusted through the generations: castor oil. This timeless remedy is celebrated for its unique ability to penetrate the skin, increase circulation, and support essential hydration. However, here is the critical part most people never hear. Castor oil on its own is simply not enough to stimulate meaningful collagen repair. In fact, relying on it alone can surprisingly limit the very benefits people are desperately hoping for, which is a vital insight for skin health. Here is what the scientific research clearly shows. As we move through our 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and 70 seconds, the skin's fibroblast cells, the master architects of collagen, become markedly less responsive. These cells require a specific kind of biological stimulation to truly reawaken. While castor oil provides excellent lubrication and improves circulation, it crucially does not provide the precise biochemical signals these dormant cells require to build new collagen fibers. This fundamental gap is why so many women report a welcome softness and shine, but not the desired firmness or meaningful wrinkle reduction they seek. Something is demonstrably missing in the formula, and that missing element is an intelligent companion oil that delivers the specific fatty acids and antioxidants necessary to activate true collagen remodeling. Why does this distinction matter so immensely? Because collagen decline is not merely a cosmetic concern. It profoundly influences skin integrity, wound healing, moisture retention, and even one's emotional confidence. Multiple studies in dermatological science, including work by experts like Dr. Eric Berg, show that when people perceive their skin is aging faster than expected, it can tangibly alter self-perception, social engagement, and even cortisol levels. This is not vanity, this is physiology intimately meeting psychology. In today's exploration, we are going to unpack a simple but powerful idea. Castor oil becomes dramatically more effective when paired with the right supporting oil. This strategic combination amplifies collagen production, improves wrinkle depth, and supports the skin's innate ability to renew itself naturally, offering a new pathway for care. When we specifically discuss mature skin, particularly the skin of women in their 50 seconds, 60 seconds, and 70 seconds, we are addressing a biological landscape that has shifted in profound and irreversible ways. The cells responsible for creating firmness and elasticity, known as fibroblast cells, no longer behave with the vibrant reactivity they possessed in earlier decades. In youth, these cells are highly reactive, responding quickly to moisture, nutrients, and even minor stimulation. With age, they become quieter and slower, requiring stronger, more specific biological signals to activate. This is the fundamental reason castor oil alone often fails to produce the visible collagen improvement many women hope for, leading to a common plateau in skincare results. Here's what the deeper research reveals. Beginning in the mid-50 seconds, fibroblast cells produce fewer essential growth factors. Their mitochondria generate less cellular energy, and the surrounding extracellular matrix becomes more rigid. Imagine a garden where the soil has slowly compacted over many years. Water alone is no longer enough to support new growth. The soil needs nourishment, aeration, and targeted nutrients to awaken again. That is essentially what happens within the dermal layer of mature skin. Castor oil has undeniable strengths. It is deeply moisturizing, enhances circulation, improves product absorption, and its main fatty acid, ricinoleic acid has powerful anti-inflammatory qualities. But critically, castor oil does not contain the molecular cues that instruct fibroblast cells to remodel collagen. It prepares the skin but does not guide the repair. Many women describe the same frustrating experience. Their skin feels soft and conditioned, yet the deeper structural issues such as sagging, fine lines, and wrinkle depth remain stubbornly unchanged. Have you noticed that perplexing pattern yourself, where moisture improves but firmness does not? To understand why, we must consider how collagen is actually created. Fibroblast cells require three categories of input. They need cellular energy from mitochondrial activity, specific fatty acids and antioxidants that support collagen gene expression, and retinoid-related compounds that act like activation keys. Castor oil provides hydration and circulation, but not the full spectrum of these building blocks or activation signals. Think of it as turning on the lights in a workshop, but not giving the workers the tools they need to build, which is a crucial limitation. This understanding is where many women unknowingly fall into a common and disheartening trap. They apply more castor oil, assuming that increased moisture should logically mean better results. Yet, without the biochemical signals that tell fibroblast cells what to do, the skin remains in a passive maintenance mode, not an active repair mode. This is precisely why so many skincare routines plateau, creating a feeling of surface nourishment, but not enabling a genuine structural change. There is another significant dimension at play. Hormonal changes after menopause cause a dramatic reduction in collagen synthesis, sometimes as high as 30% within the first few years after hormonal decline. This internal shift makes the skin far more dependent on external signals for collagen activation. The essential question then becomes, what signals can we provide and how can we deliver them in a way that aging skin can actually use? This inquiry is the beginning of the real solution to produce measurable collagen improvement. The topical treatment must deliver antioxidants, essential fatty acids, and retinoid-related compounds that can bind to fibroblast receptors and stimulate new collagen. Castor oil cannot do this alone, but it becomes a powerful delivery system when paired with the right companion oil. The combination brilliantly bridges two needs at once. Castor oil prepares the cellular environment, and the partner oil activates the very machinery of repair. The moment this principle becomes clear, everything changes. You stop waiting for castor oil to accomplish something it cannot do by itself. To understand why castor oil becomes dramatically more effective when paired with the right companion oil, we need to look closely at how mature skin absorbs and uses topical ingredients. Aging skin does not absorb nutrients the same way younger skin does. With age, the lipid barrier thins, microcirculation slows, and the pathways for oils to move into the dermal layer become less efficient. This is where castor oil plays a uniquely valuable role. Its molecular structure allows it to penetrate more deeply than most plant oils, making it an ideal carrier. It essentially opens the door, but opening the door is not the same as bringing in what the skin actually needs to rebuild itself, a distinction that is paramount for efficacy. This is where the science becomes truly fascinating. Research in dermatology and transdermal delivery shows that castor oil increases permeability and enhances the absorption of active compounds. Studies on ricinoleic acid suggest it can modify the lipid environment of the skin, allowing other oils to move through more easily. In simple terms, castor oil makes the skin more receptive, permeable, and ready. But if what follows is only more castor oil, the deeper layers remain undernourished. Imagine preparing garden soil by loosening and watering it, but never adding seeds or minerals. The soil is ready, yet nothing grows. Many women unknowingly follow this exact pattern on their skin, creating the perfect entry point, but never delivering the compounds that stimulate growth. This is where the pairing with rosehip seed oil becomes so remarkably powerful. Rosehip seed oil contains essential fatty acids like linoleic and linolenic acids, powerful antioxidants, and provitamin A compounds known as trans-retinoic acid precursors. These compounds directly support collagen gene expression and help reactivate fibroblast signaling. In clinical studies, rosehip seed oil has demonstrated measurable improvements in skin elasticity, hydration, and wrinkle depth. It contains exactly the biochemical cues that castor oil lacks, and when these two oils are combined, something synergistic happens. Castor oil improves penetration, and rosehip oil delivers the nutrients that turn on the collagen remodeling process, creating a perfect partnership. Have you ever wondered why some serums and creams work beautifully for friends but do little for you? Part of that difference may come down to delivery. Ingredients cannot create change if they never reach the cells that need them. Castor oil acts as the literal transportation system, and rosehip seed oil provides the vital cargo. Together, they support a more complete biological response. Here is a simple framework. Castor oil equals preparation, and rosehip seed oil equals activation. One opens the channel, the other initiates the repair. This pairing respects the biology of aging skin instead of fighting against it, working with natural changes rather than demanding the skin behave as it did decades ago. The research suggests that when these oils are applied in combination, circulation increases, transdermal absorption improves, antioxidant levels in the dermis rise, fibroblast cells become more responsive, and collagen remodeling begins. Some studies even show improvements in hyperpigmentation over time due to the retinoid-related compounds in rosehip seed oil. These are not superficial effects. They occur within the deeper layers where long-term structural support is created. Before moving further, it is a perfect moment to pause and absorb the significance of this concept. Many people search endlessly for the next product without understanding the basic biology of delivery and activation. But when you learn to work with your skin at this level, everything becomes beautifully simpler. To understand why this pairing creates a powerful collagen support system, we must look at what happens inside the skin once these oils are applied. When mature skin receives moisture alone, it responds only at a surface level. The outermost layer softens, texture improves slightly, and dryness diminishes, but the deeper infrastructure remains unchanged. For true collagen remodeling to occur, fibroblast cells must receive both chemical signals and gentle physical stimulation. This is where the application protocol becomes just as important as the ingredients themselves. Studies in dermal physiology indicate fibroblast cells respond more actively when three conditions are met. The skin is warm, circulation is elevated, and gentle mechanical stimulation like massage is applied. Think about it this way. If you place seeds on top of dry, cold soil without pressing them in, they are unlikely to grow. But if you warm the soil, hydrate it, and gently press the seeds beneath the surface, the chances of growth increase dramatically. The same principle applies to fibroblast activation in mature skin. Warmth, circulation, and mechanical pressure change the biological environment. Have you ever noticed your face looks smoother and more alive after a warm shower? That is not an illusion. Warmth temporarily increases blood flow, softens the extracellular matrix, and makes the skin more responsive to nutrients, which is why applying the Castor rosehip blend on warm skin, particularly in the evening, produces a more pronounced effect. A powerful tool is the warm towel method. After cleansing, place a warm towel over the skin for about 1 minute to increase circulation. Once the skin is warm and slightly damp, apply a small amount of castor oil first to create slip and enhance penetration. Then add the rosehip seed oil on top. Another important element is gentle circular massage. Light pressure triggers mechanotransduction, the process by which mechanical signals are converted into biochemical activity inside the cells. Even 30 to 60 seconds can enhance absorption and activate fibroblast response pathways. The timing of application also matters. Evening routines tend to produce the greatest results because collagen synthesis increases during sleep, aligning the treatment with the body's natural repair cycles. To make this combination work even more powerfully, we must consider how nutrition and hormonal shifts influence how the skin responds to topical treatments. Many women assume that what they put on the skin works independently, but in reality, the internal environment determines how effectively external treatments perform. After menopause, collagen production decreases rapidly because estrogen levels decline. Estrogen supports skin thickness, elasticity, and hydration. This means even the best topical treatments are working against a less responsive biological backdrop, but improvement is not impossible. It simply requires more holistic support, both internally and externally, to create meaningful change. Essential fatty acids are one of the most important internal supports for skin repair. Studies in dermatological nutrition show that low levels of omega fatty acids reduce the skin's ability to retain moisture and rebuild collagen. Rosehip seed oil delivers these fatty acids topically, but when you also support your intake through diet with foods like walnuts, flax seeds, and sardines, you create a powerful double reinforcement. Another internal factor is antioxidants. When the body has adequate reserves, it can neutralize oxidative stress more efficiently, which directly preserves collagen. Vitamin C is especially critical because it is required for the synthesis of collagen molecules. If levels are low, the skin cannot form strong collagen fibers, even when topical signals are present. Hydration also plays a key role. The extracellular matrix where collagen is housed requires adequate water to allow fibroblast cells to function properly. Chronic dehydration makes the matrix more rigid, reducing nutrient flow and slowing collagen production. A simple tool is to increase daily water intake steadily throughout the day. Hormonal changes themselves influence how the skin absorbs oils. As estrogen declines, the skin becomes thinner and more prone to inflammation. Anti-inflammatory compounds in the oils help counteract this, but they work best when the body is not generating constant inflammation from stress, poor sleep, or nutrient deficiencies, highlighting the need for a balanced lifestyle. Emotional stress influences the skin just as strongly as nutrition. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which reduces collagen synthesis and increases the breakdown of existing collagen. This is why some women notice wrinkles deepen during challenging life periods. Incorporating calm evening rituals, mindful breathing, or a few minutes of quiet before applying the oils can support the skin by reducing the internal signals that interfere with collagen remodeling. At this point, you understand why castor oil alone cannot deliver meaningful collagen repair and why pairing it with rosehip seed oil creates a more complete biological response. But understanding the science is only half the transformation. The other half comes from consistency, routine design, and behavioral patterns. This is where behavioral psychology becomes just as important as dermatology. Human behavior is governed by three primary levers: motivation, ability, and prompts. For a skin routine to become long-term, especially for senior women juggling multiple responsibilities, the protocol must be easy to begin, simple to execute, and connected to an existing habit. Without this structure, even the most effective routine rarely lasts long enough to produce visible change. Reflect on your own routines. Have you ever bought a new product with excitement, used it briefly, and then drifted away? That drift happens not because the product failed, but because the routine was not anchored to something stable in your environment. A key insight for lasting change. Behavior research calls this habit stacking. When you connect a new action to an existing habit, the likelihood of consistency increases dramatically. A powerful tool is to anchor the castor rosehip application to a nightly ritual that already exists, like brushing your teeth or preparing herbal tea. The goal is not to create a new ritual from scratch, but to attach the routine to something your brain already recognizes as a stable cue, reducing mental effort and allowing the behavior to become automatic. Another important factor is reducing the number of steps. The more complex a routine feels, the more likely it is to be abandoned. This is why this pairing is so effective. It requires only 2 oils, 1 warm towel, and fewer than 2 minutes of application. The emotional meaning of the routine also matters profoundly. Studies show that when a behavior is associated with personal identity, intention, or self-worth, the biological impact is often stronger. Your brain treats intentional self-care as a signal of safety, which reduces sympathetic nervous system activation, lowers cortisol levels, and supports deeper repair. In simple terms, when the routine feels meaningful, your body responds more positively. Frame the nightly oil application not as an obligation, but as a small act of restoration, a reminder that your body is still capable of renewal no matter your age. Many women describe this as the first moment in the day they slow down, and that slowing down is not just emotional, it is physiological. Another powerful behavioral tool is tracking small changes. A weekly photograph taken in consistent lighting helps your brain recognize gradual progress, which fuels momentum, and momentum fuels consistency. Now, let's bring everything together into a precise, science-aligned protocol. Mature skin does not respond to intensity, it responds to consistency. Aggressive treatments often create inflammation that disrupts collagen. The Castor rosehip combination works because it is gentle, biologically compatible, and aligned with how fibroblast cells operate in later decades. The goal is to create a calm, nourished environment where collagen can rebuild gradually and steadily, which is the foundation of genuine skin health. Start with a clean face in the evening using a mild pH balanced cleanser that does not leave your skin feeling tight or dry, as tightness indicates barrier disruption. Next, warm the skin with a towel for 1 minute to increase microcirculation and soften the extracellular matrix, preparing the skin to receive oils more effectively. Apply 1 or 2 drops of castor oil first, using gentle upward strokes to create a smooth surface and increase permeability. This step is about preparing the pathway, not just moisturizing. Then apply 2 to 4 drops of rosehip seed oil. Because castor oil increases absorption, the rosehip penetrates more effectively, delivering the precursors and antioxidants that tell fibroblast cells to engage in repair mode. Move slowly as you massage the oils in. Even 30 seconds of light circular pressure activates mechanoreceptors that assist in collagen synthesis. An important detail many overlook: do not layer heavy creams directly on top of the oils, as they can block oxygen flow. If needed, choose a light moisturizer and apply it 10 minutes later. Another valuable tool is the weekly warm compress technique. Once or twice a week, apply a warm towel over the oils for about 30 seconds after application to deepen the effect. Sleep plays a crucial role. Collagen synthesis peaks during deep sleep, so aligning your routine with your natural circadian repair window enhances the biological response. A steady bedtime schedule supports your skin as much as your oils do. Over time, changes appear gradually. Expect improvements in texture first, then hydration, then a softening of fine lines. Deeper structural changes take several months, but do respond when the environment remains consistent. When you bring everything together, a clear and empowering message emerges. Mature skin is not failing. It is simply operating within the natural biological shifts of age. The decline in collagen is not a sign that renewal is impossible. It is a sign that the skin needs a more intelligent, biologically aligned approach. This pairing works because it respects the physiology of senior skin rather than overpowering it, offering a path to supported rejuvenation. You now understand that castor oil alone cannot trigger collagen remodeling, But it does something equally important. It opens the pathway and prepares the skin. When rosehip seed oil follows rich in antioxidants, provitamin A compounds, and essential fatty acids, it provides the exact signals fibroblast cells need to re-engage in repair. Application technique matters immensely. Warmth, circulation, gentle stimulation, and timing turn a simple oil mixture into a true collagen supporting protocol. But perhaps the most meaningful insight is behavioral. Long-term change does not come from intensity, but from consistency. When you anchor this routine to an existing ritual, keep it simple, and treat it as a nightly act of restoration, you create the environment where repair becomes possible. With internal support from balanced nutrition, hydration, and stress management, the skin responds even more effectively. The deeper truth here is this: renewal is always available. Your skin, like the rest of your body, retains its ability to grow, repair, and strengthen throughout your life when you give it the right signals. You are not trying to look younger, you are supporting your body in functioning at its highest level at any age. If this exploration brought you clarity, confidence, or a sense of empowerment, I invite you to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. This community is growing into a place where science, psychology, and daily practice come together to help you build a stronger, healthier, and more resilient version of yourself.